Good evening, good evening, America. It is I, Jay Sims and Lion, broadcasting live tonight. 48 Laws of Power, the book study we here, chapters 37 and 38. I know you just got on. I know it was hot out there. I know you tired. You was laying bricks, you was roofing, you was landscaping, you was mechanicing, you was in the warehouse, you was out there. I know you was working hard, but take a little few minutes while you chilling out. Let us play in the background and you can learn on with us, myself, Jason Ryan, and the Doc. 48 Laws of Power Breakdown. What's going on this evening, Doc?
Man, what's up, Bo? Man, I'm glad to be here again. Boy, I love these book studies, man. We have learned so much.
This way is that right here. You gotta go out and get that interpretation. There's so many ways to interpret this book.
Yeah.
It's good to break it down with somebody, with some other folk, because it's always me, you, people that chime in. You know, when people ask stuff later on, it's always interesting to see how people see the same exact thing that you're looking at.
Yeah, and the first time I read this book, I said, this is something you can't read by yourself.
Yeah.
You're not getting the most out of it if you read by yourself.
You're definitely not. I will 100% agree with that. It's definitely the kind of book where, you know, you're getting more from the group than you can get from yourself. Even if you're doing even if you writing it and kind of trying to breaking it down and studying it in a way, like almost like you're writing a book on it or a report on it, you're still not going to get what you're going to get from interacting with other people.
Oh, exactly. I can't wait till your Tally Wrong book come out.
Hey, your boy Tally Wrong.
Watch. I'm telling you, you're going to end up writing one, bro. You're going to end up writing one.
I went looking for a good Audible book. They don't have one on Audible, so I'm going to have to go ahead and buy me one. They got one, it's kind of older, that's about it, but it's written by a Frenchman and been translated over to English. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what that do. But sometimes, depending on what point in history or book was written in, you might be getting that fluff.
Yeah.
Maybe. So I don't want the fluff. I want the real deal.
That's why you got to write it.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
I'm gonna have to do some research on your boy, find out some things he was a part of. Just like Robert Greene did, and because I'm just saying he seemed like he's one of the best players in the game. That's all I'm saying.
Man, ain't nobody got it like him. I'm telling you, man. The stuff he did is above everybody that he used for an example in the book. Now, there's some hard ones in there.
Oh, some hard ones in there. Yellow Kid Wild off the chain.
Yeah. But he ain't off the chain like Tally, boy.
Tally Wrong just in the background, just playing everybody, just sliding through kings and generals and emperors and all that. He would just slide around doing his thing, never lost his status. And Tally Wrong stayed on top of the game.
For sure, man. All right.
So what we got for him tonight? We got 37 and 38.
Yeah.
We deep into the book now. We're getting close to the end. These are some chapters, man. I need y'all to pay attention to these couple laws right here. They got a lot to them. These some finesse laws right here. These for all my finesses out there. This is some stuff y'all can use.
Yeah, and like you said, when people read this, they'll probably think it's a manipulation Bible. I mean, it's like the instructions are right there. But you know what? I'll say it's like anything. When you get it, it depends on how you choose to use it. To me, these are defensive laws, keep you to protect yourself. And honestly, I find myself using them in a defensive manner. When I read it, I'm like, ooh, I do that. But when we get into it, man, we're going to talk about it.
Well, I can see for somebody like yourself, this chapter right here can create compelling spectacles, could help with the kids.
Yeah.
For the education purposes, to spark their interest.
Oh, it's true. It's true. It is totally true. I mean, if I go in there, if I have on a costume, like it may be if I'm teaching about space and I walk in there with a lightsaber and the Darth Vader costume, they zoomed in.
Exactly. So again, the actual law is not the issue. Mm-hmm. What you using it for.
That's right.
I guess you can make the same argument with these laws like you can make with guns.
Yep,
that's true. Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
So these people can kill people. Hey, they do. So
Yeah.
man, but if you look down there, the law 37, create compelling spectacles. And what he says in the beginning, striking imagery and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power. Everybody responds to them.
You know what I thought about the first time I heard that?
Mm-hmm.
I thought about Batman, The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
Where he says theatricality and illusion.
Yeah.
You know, powerful tactics to the uninitiated. But I am initiated. Like, I know what's going on, you know. And that's the first time I said, you know what that man said, you know, theatricality and illusion can create whatever you want it to create.
Uh-huh. I mean, think about it now. We do it.
Yep.
I know a lot of men out there do this.
Yeah.
And you know how they do it? When they're at their families and they tired, they woe out. And they walk to that front door and they're ready to go and they put the key in the door and they stop and they take that breath. And all of a sudden they standing up straighter and they walk in the door. Hey, you know, they making noises for the babies and all that, but they really tired.
Yeah.
That they create that spectacle so nobody will know that they really tired.
Right.
We do it all the time, man. All the time.
And your kids, your children don't even, you know, you do that, we do that, and the kids need it.
Mm-hmm.
The kids need that because they want to know and they want to feel like, because they happy to see their daddy or their mom or whoever walk in the door.
That's
they
right.
want to feel like you happy to see them too.
And you know, but this whole thing is about power,
right?
And like we talked about in the first chapter, power is in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And to think about everything is about gaining power and giving power away.
Right.
Now, this one is talking about gaining power, but it's also showing you how to keep it away. You know, in my notes below this, I said flashy things can be a distraction.
Yes.
Learn to look past the sales pitch and the flash. And you can see things for what it really is.
I agree 100% with that. That you absolutely have to look past the flash. However, on the other side of that, you definitely be using it for defense.
Yeah.
When using it for offense, man, you want to look at the flash while you know, pay. I think about what is it, Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Like the Wiz,
yeah.
Richard Pryor back there.
Yeah, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at what I'm doing over here. Right. Pictures and everything else.
But look at this. I'm gonna tell y'all another one. Because you know, a lot of our friends nowadays, they taking vacations, man. The airlines want people to fly. So guess what you're gonna do? They buy them tickets and they fly to Vegas.
Yep.
Vegas has the biggest spectacles ever. And the second part of that, what he said, grand symbolic gestures.
Yep.
So you know what they do? They're gonna give you free drinks.
Oh yeah.
It ain't nothing to them because they got plenty of it in the back.
Well, they cutting it down. It's mostly watered down anyway.
But people ain't gonna know that because it's free. If it's free, it's for me.
I ain't worried about it. You know, I ain't worried about if it's watered down. It's free. I can drink 8 of these boys as long as I'm gambling. They free as long as you're gambling now.
That's what I'm saying.
You stop gambling, you're going to pay for that.
That's it. You got to go. You got to go. But even on a larger scale.
Yeah, you ain't got to leave, but you got to pay for these drinks if you're going to stay.
I'm saying coming out the pocket. But the thing is, even on a larger scale, man, in our government, they did this.
Yeah.
You know, even the thing with Donald Trump and these tax cuts. He gave us a little bit of tax cuts that expire. But if you are wealthy, your tax cuts last forever.
Yes, sir.
But the grand gesture gave us some power.
It's all that matter. All that matters, you know, to a lot of people is the grand gesture.
Yeah.
You know, that's all. That people can't see beyond it. Most people can't see beyond that grand gesture, which is why I understand why you call this a defensive chapter. Because this is making you aware that there's a lot of stuff that's just a grand gesture.
Yeah.
And you need to be prepared to look beyond that and recognize, oh, this is just show. This is just fluff.
Yeah.
What's really going on here?
But listen to this, man. Let me tell you something real quick. This is when I just now realized this, man, how I use this as a defensive thing. The other day, my doorbell rang. I go to the door. It's this dude at my door saying, "Hey, you know, Georgia Power got this new thing, man. They paying people for solar panels. I said, all right. You know, I was thinking about getting some solar panels, you know, cut down my electric bill. So I said, well, how much it costs? First thing he said is, well, you know, it's money that you already paying to the electric company anyway. You can save money because the payment you would pay to them, you just pay for this and you own it, it's yours. But he kept saying it's money you was paying anyway. Asked this dude 4 times how much it costs.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So the spectacle and the imagery, because he created imagery with his words. This how much money you gonna save. 70% off your bill. But it took him forever to tell me, oh yeah, it's gonna cost probably about $15,000 to $20,000. Then the other part that he didn't talk about is that you got these panels that generate all this power, right? Because they got a 2-way inverter on the meter box where the power go out to them.
Right.
You send out more power than you keep.
Oh yeah.
You generate more power than that little 70% off your bill.
Yeah, I know. And that's why Georgia Power just recently was trying to pass laws where they didn't have to pay people back for the power that they sent out to the grid. That's another scam. They make it because right now the rate is one thing. They're trying to change it where the rate gonna be way lower, where they're gonna be paying you so much less for all the power you're gonna be sending back into the grid. Exactly. So that's neither here nor there. But that's the same thing. Buddy was trying to sell you the dream of you know, you're gonna be paying the same thing you're paying for your bill. Bro, I'm trying to get rid of the bill. How you know I can't pay for this cash?
Look, I want the battery. I want the Tesla battery on the wall. So my stuff go into that battery and my house is off the grid.
Yep. Exactly what I want. I don't want to reduce my bill by 70%. I want my bill gone.
I want no bill. Keep up my own stuff. Everybody power out. Hurricane Hugo 2 come through. I ain't worried about it. I'm still playing Xbox over there.
Y'all all right?
but man, you know, when we get into this thing, man, this was the thing where he said, I wrote a note about pay attention to your own nature. And he told a story about with Dr. Weisler.
Oh yeah, the moon doctor.
Yeah, there we go, the moon doctor. He was a snake oil salesman. You know,
the snake oil salesman has some good tactics though.
That's what I'm saying. You know, he made a big show. He made a big thing. And then all of a sudden, he wasn't really doing nothing. So in the interpretation, he say he understood human nature. This is the part we got to pay attention to. He recognized that people don't always want words or rational explanations or demonstrations of the powers of science. They want an immediate appeal to their emotions. They want to feel good fast. You know where else this happened at?
What's that?
Hope my people ain't listening, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Church.
Yep. Yep.
There are some people, you get those people up there and they start getting their preacher voice on, and you know, they might walk out in the crowd a little bit and start doing all that hollering and coughing, but they ain't saying nothing.
Nope.
But people being, he preached today.
They just yeah. And you feel it in your soul.
But you see what I'm talking about? See how they use it?
Like old school faith healing. You know, you get up there, you tell them, you preach a good sermon, how the house jumping, and you bring a man up with the bum leg and you touch him, and now he's walking straight.
Exactly. Now, I'm gonna tell you what. Now that stuff can happen. I've seen it. I've seen my daddy do it before, but it don't happen all the time. It's rare.
This what I realized out of this book and just life in general. It's not the person that's doing the healing or whatever. It's your belief. I think that's what's really healing people. Is you believe that you healed. I honestly do believe that. I believe we have the power within ourselves to heal ourselves.
Look, let's read some stuff what Jesus was talking about. I'm telling you. And then you getting into mind over matter and a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't think these people ready for.
But I really believe that. I think that's just the power of your mind and your belief system that'll get you, heal yourself.
Our boy Speed Zone recruits say absolutely.
Oh, that's my dog. That's my dog. Dennis right there. I used to work with.
D, man, hey, glad you stopped by, bro. But yeah, I mean, mind over matter. Tibetan monks do it all the time. You know, when I was a kid, I read a book about how Tibetan monks go in the Himalayas and sleep outside and maintain their body temperature. I'm like, how do you do that? Yeah.
Listen, training can do anything.
Oh, I'm about to drop some more stuff on you, man. That's how, from when I was a kid, I said, okay, I wonder if I can get myself to go to sleep like that. And remember, before I was talking about paying attention to your body and knowing yourself and all that?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't never have trouble sleeping. You know why?
Okay.
Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is how I go to sleep. And I got a ritual. I take 3 deep breaths and I'm out. Because I'm serious.
You done told yourself, if I do this, I'm gonna sleep well. So you do.
I do that. But before I do a sermon, you'll see it. Man, it was funny because I recorded a video and I showed it to my daughter. And I did this little ritual and I saw when I shifted. It was like, I did this thing like this and it took like a second and it shifted to something else. And my little YouTube voice turned on. What I'm saying, that's the power of the mind. But that's why you got to know your own nature.
Well, let's take it back to the chapter, okay? To the law. Create a compelling spectacle. The second story you told about the woman, was it Diane?
Man, look, that one, that's how people get caught up.
Listen,
but she did it.
She had them wrapped around her finger. She created this whole grand, like she almost akin herself to a goddess.
Yeah.
You know,
she didn't, but she never said she was.
No,
she just made herself look like one.
She let the people make her into that.
Exactly.
I'm gonna give y'all this image, and they decided that's what it was. What was the prince? Was not the prince.
No, it was the prince. It was the prince.
He decided that's what she was. Because she just power perceived is power achieved.
Over decades, man.
Hey, listen. You can keep that up. You can keep whatever you can. You can keep that image up, and you stick to it, and the folks will believe it. Listen, if he felt she was that and was happy and got love, and she got what she wanted from the deal, I don't see a problem.
But here's the thing, though. Like I said before, now I always think about how this stuff happens now. We do this. We do it unintentionally. I talked before about the father who comes home from work. We create that image for our kids.
Oh, yeah.
We do that. And they think we supermen. Just because we are who we are. So I think that's something, if a father strives to do that, to, you know what, I'm doing this for my kids. And I mean, they'll go out there, work and do all that stuff, but what about all the other stuff?
Yeah.
They got to think you like Captain America up in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. It's like, to me, I think my kids should think I'm the most noble, I'm the strongest, fastest, smartest person on the face of the planet. Nobody better than their daddy. Not one person.
And that's good. The children gotta have something to believe in. You know, something to aspire to. It's that creating that image, you know, that's an important thing. You know, it'll be real nice for the kids, especially in our community, to get back to saying, man, oh, my daddy better than your daddy.
That's what I'm saying. That's how we gotta be. I mean, but I think people don't see. I know I'm contradicting what I said earlier about this being a defensive thing, but it could be, if you use, like you said, it's like a gun. If you use it for the right purpose, it could do a lot of good.
You can do a lot of good. Nobody ever said the person in the military or one of our soldiers was bad because they had a gun, because they felt like they were fighting for us.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing, you know. Like you said, if you walk in to the classroom in a Darth Vader costume, the kid's gonna respond totally different. You're gonna have their attention and be able to get a lesson that you may not be able to get in before, or at least not get as many students engaged in the lesson as that spectacle did.
That's what I'm saying. Them no spectacles. You know, they work for us and against us.
Yeah, we're humans. We love a show. Why do you think they do a halftime show at the Super Bowl? Why do you think we have our fireworks and all going on before the game? We love a show. We love a show. We love to be entertained. We love to be tricked. We love to be tricked. That's why we got magicians. We know it's an illusion, but we love to be tricked. So that's creating that spectacle. You have to create that spectacle and get people to just get people to grasp attention. Even something as simple as social media and doing something like what we do. We're throwing up the titles to grasp their attention, to create ideas. I come in, I do the intro the way I do to make a spectacle out of this thing.
That's why I got the horns on there, man.
Exactly. You have to do it. It's a part of life. In the relationship, why you think men put rose petals from the front door to the bedroom? You know, why you run the bath water, bubble bath with the music playing and the candles on and all of that? All that's a spectacle. You create a compelling spectacle for the woman when she come in the door. Now she in love. That's that romance.
That's right.
You got to do it.
But you know what? He go a lot deeper into this thing, man. You know, you talk about words, how words put us on the defense. We don't need people asking a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
They need to look at you and be like, yeah. You know, it all speaks for itself. Because, you know, my notes I put on words can get you in trouble if you talk too much. If you have to explain stuff too much,
it'll
get you in trouble.
Yeah, somebody told me, said, don't waste words.
What he said, understand, words put you on the defensive. If you have to explain yourself, your power is already in question.
Yep.
They should already.
You know how that's real? Because parents will say it to some kids in a second. I don't got to explain nothing to you.
Hey.
You do what I tell you to do because I told you to do it.
That's it.
And that's all.
Don't even ask.
Don't even. I wish you would.
But I mean, again, we always got, man, this book always come back to me, man. I be wanting to say certain things and post certain things in response to folks, which we're gonna talk about that later. Then I'm giving my power away. So then I don't. But if I have to, you know what that was the last week, or the week before, we talked about that.
Yeah.
About engaging people who are on your level or under your level.
Right.
It depends on where they are. And, you know, don't engage them.
Don't engage them.
Because you just give your power away.
I had a conversation with somebody today about that same chapter. I was like, I think one of the biggest reasons I had an issue with Donald Trump, besides some of his policies, because all of them weren't bad, all of them weren't good, was he gave too much attention to people who ain't matter. And I was like, why you the president of the United States? Why are you following up some actor or some comedian or whatever? You the president.
You know why?
You too big for that.
EGO.
Yeah,
Ego.
But it made you look small. To me, it made him look small. Like you're the president of the United States and you following up some comedian? Man, you don't go somewhere. Let that nonsense go. You
but think about it though.
Long-time reporter.
They were his equals.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't shift our mindset to know that we on a different plane.
Right.
And I'm not talking about just with money, but you know, you could be in a different spot in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you still giving attention to the people that's below you. And I say below, not that you better than other people, but the fact of you're not doing
it's
that.
It's not about below, but it's people orbit in different atmospheres and different realms.
Yeah.
You know, okay, you used to be entertainer. Donald Trump, you ain't entertaining no more, man. You a politician, you a dignitary, you a
don't do that no more.
You know what they call it when you go from one country to the next. You represent us as a people. Yeah, you a diplomat and all that, and you got time. You don't have time for a comedian, so that goes back to that other chapter. But that is one thing Trump did do very well, was create a compelling spectacle.
Yeah.
because
I think he did all that stuff on purpose.
Yeah, his rallies and his events. Well, everything he did was a show. It was and he can tell you, I started saying drain the swamp because how the people responded to it.
Yeah.
So
fake news.
That's one thing he did extremely well, was create a compelling spectacle. He was charismatic.
So, but check this out, man. So the keys to power now. Watch. I think we could use this, man. Kevin Samuels came to my mind.
Okay.
When I read this part. Now, first he said the first step, use symbols and images and understand the primacy of sight among the senses. What you see comes first.
Right.
Never neglect the way you arrange things visually. You saw how he had his stuff set up. You saw the uniform he wore every day. It was a visual thing.
Right.
And color. Color makes a difference in all. Color theory is a big thing.
Right.
Why do you think McDonald's yellow and red? Because that's what make people hungry. That all the colors mean certain things and they enact certain emotions. He did that. Right. Visual gets great emotional power. And then the end part here is the most effective of all is a new combination. A fusion of images and symbols that have not been seen together before, but through their association clearly demonstrate your new idea or message.
Oh yeah, and we know as individuals that works like a charm, because you can put up a symbol of some of these companies and we know what it is without any words.
Oh yeah.
You put that little round and then the little circle inside. Oh, that's Target. All day. We don't got to see the Target part. We just know that's Target. And we just know the brands. We know the names because we've been seeing it. So we see that polar bear, we think Coca-Cola.
And think that's power.
Yeah.
Because it comes to their mind real quick. And again, that's what Kevin Samuels did. Because he talked about this book. And he used some of this stuff to get to where he was at.
Oh yeah. And it's such a way to control people and make them see and believe in the symbolism you want them to believe.
Mm-hmm. But you know what though? And I'll tell you this, man, on the defensive side of this is stuff you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
You got to watch out for this because that's how people fall into these traps, doing all this crazy stuff because of this. The biggest, I could say it here because it's safe. Black Lives Matter did this so good.
Yep.
And they messed up all these people. You know how bad this was? I told people, I said, hey, y'all need to go to their website and read their about page.
Yep.
They wouldn't even go read it because of what they might find.
Yep. And if you read that about page, you're going to find out, it is not for us. When I say us, it's not for black men. Mm-mm. At all. Not straight black men. If you're a family man, it ain't for you.
Oh, no. Nope. You know what? That's the first place where I learned what cisgender was. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep.
I learned it off their page. So, but they used the images. They used all of this stuff to get people attention.
Yep. They did a good job too.
Oh yeah. So man, you ready to move? Go on to the
overall, man, just remember everything you see is not what it is. And sometimes you got to give people a show just to get their attention, to give them so you can give them a little substance.
That's right. Like Speed Zone said, you got to create attention grabbers, and you got to do that in your life too. But also you got to recognize when people doing it to you.
Yep.
All right, man. Law 38.
Ooh, here you go.
Think as you link. Boy, I typed that wrong.
Yeah, Let me fix
that. Let me fix that one. Think as you like. What do you say? We build it as we fly. Building it as we fly. Think as you like, but behave like the others. We need to get into this. Okay, so I'm going to give you one, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. I relate this to one we've been told our whole life. Fake it till you make it. Yeah.
This is the core behind fake it till you make it to me.
But you know what though? You're right. You're right. I also think that is playing the game, the corporate game.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely see how this could apply in the corporate world. Oh, in the corporate world, this is full on right here.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do this in the corporate world. Because you just until you get yourself to a point where you high enough to change the rules, you gotta play by the rules.
Exactly. But even then, these days, you can't hardly change the rule because you get canceled.
Oh,
people try to cancel you. And then you got so much on the line.
Listen, that cancel culture, I don't even want to get into that. But let's stay on top.
Yeah. All right. So he said in the judgment, this is what the setup. If you make a show of going against the times, flaunting your unconventional ideas and unorthodox ways, people will think that you only want attention and that you look down upon them. They will find a way to punish you for making them feel inferior.
Yep.
It's safer to blend in and nurture the common touch. Share your originality only with tolerant friends and those who are sure to appreciate your uniqueness.
Stop trying to shine on people. That's what he's trying to tell you. Stop trying to shine on people. That's how you get yourself messed up. It's cool you doing better in life, trying to shine on everybody else who's not doing better in life yet.
That's right.
Wait, you want to show off? Go with your other people that's doing good. Show off with them. But those folks that wasn't doing so good, don't come back to the hood with your flashy car. Come back to your old Corolla.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Hey, don't be like we talked about Young Dolph that time, man. With that. And also, fellas, if y'all out there, go back and read chapter 1. Chapter 1 talks about this. Because you'll get Fouquet.
Oh, man.
You won't know what happened.
Won't know what happened. Get Fouquet right on up out of there. I don't know what to say. All I'm going to do is say you should have read Law 1.
Yeah, you got to do that one.
Should have read Law 1. But honestly, to me, this is what this one is. It says, think as you like, which means if you got some wild, crazy, exotic ideas, that's fine. But know the time and the place.
Yeah.
It's a time and a place for everything. Learn how to read the room. And sometimes, you what's the phrase? When in Rome. When in Rome.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Act like a rude. I think CeeLo Green in the old Goody Mob song said, when we on your side of town, we don't ask why. We just abide by the laws that y'all live by.
Uh-huh.
It's that simple.
That's it. But
you know what this is? You got to give a reason for it. Just abide by the law that they live by, and you'll be all right.
All right, that's Mr. Help the Cover. Help the Cover in the house.
Oh, what's going on? He know how to play it.
Oh yeah, me and him that talked a whole bunch.
Yeah,
and he's a master at this. That's
why
he up there doing the big things because he know how to play the game.
You're darn right. You better know how to play this game, man. It's so much in these chapters, man, about just really just about learning how to carry yourself.
Yeah.
How to, look like you belong in a particular area.
But you know what, though? This is a problem these days. And it's a problem that's so pervasive that it affects some of everything. A lot of the younger people have trouble with this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm reminded of, another Kevin Samuels show where he was talking to young men who wanted to get into the corporate world. And he said, y'all gonna have to cut your hair and you got to stop wearing them Jordans.
Yep.
And they ain't want to do it.
No.
Well, they got to accept me for me. No, they don't.
No, they don't. They don't have to accept you for you. Unless you have an extreme talent. Bill Gates, Microsoft, Steve Jobs, Apple, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook type talent or idea that you can pump and plug yourself, they don't have to accept you as you are. You do have to play that game for at least a time.
You know what? But how does this affect the regular man? How does this affect, how does the regular person, How do they violate
Oh,
this?
real simple. When it's time to walk in that bank and get you a loan. You want that house?
Okay.
I bet you go to that bank with a button-up shirt on. You know, I mean, you ain't gonna go in there with your pants sagging off your butt and looking like you ain't got no job, look like you ain't never been employed. You gonna come in there with your paperwork right.
You know what? I'm reminded of two things, two stories. Hey, there you go. You guys are surgical. We are ordinary.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. You got to, and you got to take control of every aspect of your life. We let too much stuff happen.
Yep.
We don't take control of it. But what I was going to say, the two things, two stories that you told, that this is it. The first story was in the beginning. You was telling me about a young man who came to you for an interview. And he came like he didn't have, you had to tell him, brother, go back and get a dress shirt, get some slacks, then you come back and see me. See, this is that.
Yeah.
Behave like the others, like the rest of them do it.
Yeah.
But the second one, remember when you said, again, this going back to chapter 1, when you said you was outshining the master.
Right.
And that you could do what you felt like you do what you wanted to do because you was really valuable to them.
Right. I sure did. Trying to shine too bright.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So younger generation not taught that. Yep. There we go. And they got to
younger generation
the
don't want to listen. Younger generation don't want to listen. But I'm not about to harp on the young people. I'm here to help. I'm going to put the information out there, and I hope they take it. But this one right here is nobody has an issue with your ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And we need new, fresh, strong ideas. But we also want to know you can follow some rules, follow some guidelines, understand the area you in. Can I put you in a room with some different people? Like, I might know who you are and your expressions and all that. But if I put you in a room with some brand new people, do you know how to carry yourself?
You got to conform. Conformity. Nobody wants to conform to anything, but you have to conform in certain situations.
Right.
You got to.
Right. And you can do what you want to do at your house. But when the moment you walk out of that door, you could want to be a nudist. You walk around your house naked as a jaybird all you want, but you better walk out that door.
Hey, put on some drawers.
Better put on something. Walk out there naked if you want to.
You got to do it. You got to do
ride out here.
I mean, you know what? This reminds me of folks who knowingly want to make their own rules, and it's not for everybody to make your own rules. But then they make their own rules, but get mad when they got hit with consequences. Yep, got to be universal standard. Yep, the universal standard. You know what?
It's just a little bit where we have to realize that what we're doing. I think the first story in this about the Persian, was it Polonius?
Okay. Yep, that's what I was gonna go to. So in the first story, the first historical event that Robert Greene reviewed about the man named Pausanias. And the notes I wrote for him is that he thought too much of himself. He thought he was better than everybody else and untouchable. So what he did is he was part of the Spartan army. He was a general. And he went over there. They sent him over there to Persia. He won that battle, took over that piece of land. But when he got there, he started kind of liking what the Persians was doing. He was like, hey, man, I can kind of get with this. So he started dressing like them, started doing all the stuff like Persians. So as the time went on, he went and he started talking down to the Greek people. That's where he came from. He talked down to them so bad until he ended up trying to send letters to the Persian emperor about the Greeks, and they got intercepted. And he thought he was untouchable, but they ended up killing him. Well, actually, he killed himself because they surrounded his house and he starved to death.
Yeah. Your boy forgot, it's like at work, It's always that dude that be snitching.
Okay.
How you gonna snitch on the people you work with every day? It's the same thing. Think as you like. You ain't got to like us, but you got to work with us every day. But you snitching on us.
That's what I'm saying. And he say here in the interpretation, this is what I underline. That's how it appears when people adopt a culture in which they were not raised. That's a big thing. Trying to be somebody.
You're not. That's like, that's almost like what we call a sellout.
Yeah.
You went off you left the hood or whatever, and you went off to school, and you got the degree, and we proud of you, but you came back acting like you was better than us.
Yeah, that's what your boy did. And you know what? If you compare that to the starvation to being ostracized, if you do that, you will be ostracized and you will starve yourself. That's why Robert Greene says, save it for people who are like you. Save it for people who are aligned with that. Exactly. Here is, go ahead.
No, I just want to say as a completion of what I was saying about, you came back to the hood acting like you was better. Listen, to be honest with you, we don't want you back. We want you to go out. We want you to go out and move forward and make yourself into something that can help more people. But just because you accomplished something in life doesn't mean you're better than wherever you came from. And you're still a part of that culture. You're still part of those people. You're supposed to take the new lessons and the positive parts of the new lessons. You're supposed to bring those back to your people to move your own culture forward. You're not supposed to come and treat your culture like it doesn't have anything about it.
And I got the perfect example of that. So Robert Greene here say, indeed, their need to show their difference so dramatically often makes them disliked by the people whose belief they challenge, indirectly and subtly, perhaps, but offensively, nonetheless. My wife tell me a story about this lady that went to their church. And like the lady went to school, she got a doctorate, got a PhD, all of this stuff. And the pastor called her sister so-and-so. She said, don't call me that. It's doctor. In a church, they call people sister and brother. Ain't nobody above. They call the pastor, the deacon, whatever. That's it.
Right. And you still call the deacon brother so-and-so.
Exactly. But that, like I said, it made people get disliked. This happened over a decade ago. My wife still remember that. Everybody still remember that.
And we all know you got your PhD, and we proud of you. We proud of you with your PhD, but don't correct us like we wrong.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. Speed Zone say, especially in the Afro-American community. Yep.
Hey, it is what it is.
Cause I mean, you know me, I got all of that stuff. But you'll never see me put it in front of my name. I might do it for about a day or two just to say, y'all, I did it. But after that, I'm regular. I'm just like everybody. Ain't nothing special about me.
And I want people to understand something. This does not mean you don't deserve to be celebrated. It does not mean that. We're not saying, don't be proud of your accomplishments. We don't want you to feel bad about telling somebody you accomplished this or accomplished that. But when you act like now, since you have this, I'm better than y'all.
Exactly.
That's when you lose those people. And depending on what you're trying to do, you might need them people for whatever reason. So don't approach it like that. Think like you like. You can think you better than them, but don't act like it.
Exactly. That's what he's saying. But this, I know I keep going back to these young people, but this is the thing. Don't expect to scoff at such things with impunity. You will be punished somehow, even if just through isolation.
Yep.
And it's at a position of real powerlessness. this whole thing is about gaining your power, like maintaining and gaining your power. And when you're going against the grain like that, you are giving your power away.
Yep.
Now, there are some instances where you have to, but we're going to get to that later. But going against the grain now, you know, it's like people with, you know, tattoos on their face and, you know, rings in their nose and stuff. And they get mad because people don't want, like, well, they get upset because they can't get corporate jobs.
Put a tattoo on your face. What boardroom can I take you in to be taken seriously?
And you know how this works? Because he said later on, he said, you know, if you're an outlier, basically you can do that. And yeah, if you're somebody who got millions of dollars, you got a lot of pull influence, you can do whatever you want.
Exactly. If you got the millions of dollars and influence, you can do what you want. If you have an extreme talent and skill, often like, you know, NBA players, NFL players, that's the extreme level of those talents. So yeah, the boys can walk around with dreads in their hair and tattoos up and down their arms because it ain't but a few people on the planet Earth can do what they can do.
Exactly.
Was it 350 something players in the NBA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everybody, that's it. That's it. You're not gonna make it. Everybody ain't gonna make it.
Oh no.
You know, 300 million people. I mean, 1 in a million make it to the NBA. 1 in a million.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can do what you want to do when you 1 in a million.
But, and you know, even on a smaller scale, when you go on these people's job, you gotta conform, man.
Yeah.
I done had so many dudes figured out I ain't doing that. I'm gonna do what I want.
Okay, cool. You would do it at the house.
Oh, OG, you ain't late, man. You always good, bro.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You can do exactly what you want to do. You just gonna do it at the house. You ain't gonna do it here.
That's it. Uh-huh. That's it.
You know, you're not gonna come in here and mess up what we got going on because you got something to say that's not really relevant to what we're trying to do.
Right. So one thing that I always had trouble with as a manager was you know, when changes had to happen.
Right.
And you communicating those changes. Hey man, we're gonna have to do something different. And the people didn't want to conform. Man, I don't want to do that, man. I ain't doing that. I ain't, you know, this and that. And it made it hard on everybody.
Yep.
Yep. Do what the others don't. So they can do the things others can't. Hey, hold on. That's it. You got to be willing to do the stuff people don't want to do. And that's the key.
Well, you know, as far as the work scenario, you know, change, when you want to change the process, is always going to be an issue. You know, especially in that warehouse world, you know how it goes. It's always going to be an issue. But I don't care if you don't like the idea. We still got to do this.
Yeah.
And we're going to make this happen. Now, if we try it, don't work, okay, then maybe we can go back to what we were doing before, or we can listen to your idea or whatever. But again, think as you like. It is fine to have your own ideas. It is fine to see things differently. But sometimes you got to play that game. You got to slide in that lane for a minute. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane just for a little bit. And then you can branch out and do your own thing after you get some real world experience. You know, you can make your own thing. Everything is about learning. You have to learn how a system works.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you got to be a part of a system and change it from within before you can just change something.
And honestly, a lot of times when they say change from within, people don't realize how long that takes.
It takes years.
You got to be able to gain enough power to do that.
You're going to end up using all these laws along the way till you get to a point where you can affect some real change.
Oh, that's Miss OG in the house.
Okay.
I get it. But so look at this, man. The next part, the observance of the law. Now look at how this dude had to shift himself so he won't die.
Yep.
That's what he did. Late 16th century. What's this dude name? Epicurus Campanella. Mm-hmm. This dude was a non-believer.
Yep.
Straight up non-believer. He didn't believe in miracles. He didn't believe in heaven or hell. He thought the church and everything about it was superstition. It wasn't real, all of this stuff. Back then, they wasn't playing that. Spanish Inquisition came through, and either you had to conform or you had to face the consequences.
Yep. And so, they did everything. The buddy, they tortured him, put him in prison. They said he was going to be in there till he died.
They tortured this man on a spiked chair. He had a spiked chair sitting on some spikes where he had to hold himself up. And if you slip, you go. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they was giving money to business.
But look what he did, though. Look what he did. He started figuring, hey, man, this ain't working.
Right.
So he made him think he was crazy. He made him think it was coming. I'm just crazy. This, and they let him go.
Yep.
And as soon as they let him go, he started writing his books. But about what he believed. And the thing is, he said, the notes I wrote is he disguised his thoughts as something else. Right. So they still couldn't come back and get him.
And that's the thing people need to understand. Now, some people will say, "Oh, he didn't stand on his beliefs. He sold out. He copped out."
Oh, man, let's talk about that.
When you're talking about staying alive, you might have to do some things you don't want to do. And also, in his particular case, it allowed him to be able to write a book that went on to be the platform for his people that have his belief system.
But he said this was like the atheist Bible that he wrote.
Right.
Now, I ain't supporting all that, but I'm supporting what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like he changed it he refined that into something else. So this idea changed from, him just talking out of his mouth to now it's spreading out to a lot of people.
Right.
And now, right here, OG said death is a part of life. You can't have one without the other. Now, that's true. So let's apply that to what we just talked about. You said selling out. Something in you got to die. One of them got to die. Either you're going to conform and let the way you was doing things die, or you're not going to conform and your chances of living going to die.
Yep.
You got to pick one. This man decided that you got to define what winning is. I say that all the time. You got to define what winning is and define what is important to you.
Yep. And for him, being alive and having an opportunity to continue to write and put his beliefs out was more important than standing there and saying, this is what I believe at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. OG said there's always be a hater when you change your directive or a change in thought.
You cannot please all the people all the time.
No, you are going to be the villain in somebody's story.
Oh, exactly. More than one person like it. The better you do, the more you make, the more you achieve, the more peace you put around yourself, the more of a villain you're gonna become to someone else.
Oh, of course. And that's the thing. So, but I mean, you got to conform or not. And that's the thing. Even if they call you a sellout.
I don't think this means conform in all aspects of life.
No,
I think people need to really think about it. I have a particular goal I want to achieve. In order to achieve that goal, I have to play this role. I have to do as the other people are doing. I need to cut my hair. I need to put on a suit. I need to put on a decent pair of shoes, because I want to move up in this realm. When you come home, you want to put your do-rag on and play your hip-hop music and drink your 40s and smoke your blunts or whatever you want to do, that's cool.
All of that.
When 6 o'clock in the morning, when it's time to get up and go to work, pack that up.
You better brush your teeth, spray some dope boy in the car.
You feel me? and go do it. Go handle your business.
But you know what this made me think about? I'm gonna bring this a little closer to home. And you two things. One, you have to decide what battle you want to fight. Right? You can't fight every battle. Sometimes you got to not fight it. But some battles need to be fought, and you can't conform. When I read this, what I thought about is Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
He didn't conform to what they thought a Negro should be.
Right.
He was the most hated man around.
Yep.
He did things like he just didn't tuck himself away. He was out there on the front lines. I think he'd been to jail, 38 times in 2 years? So all of this stuff happened. He didn't conform, but he chose to fight that battle. But he didn't choose to fight some of the other ones.
Right.
And that's what we have to do. You got to decide. Like, honestly, I think I told y'all about how the dude on TikTok made a video about one of my comments.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, man. He was mad. He was real mad with me. That Joker was hot. Made a whole video about it. And I was like, okay. That was the equivalent of him saying you stupid. And you know how that is with me. That's kind of like Marty McFly when people call him chicken. He mess up everything. Or go into a timeshare. That's what he was to me. But you know, I had to choose. I had to choose, like, okay, do I want to fight this battle with him? And if I do, what is it worth it to me? And I decided to let it go. And that's what we got to choose. Every battle has a set amount of energy. Choose the amount of energy you're willing to put into a battle. OG say that.
Because it's true. You have to decide, is it worth the hassle?
Mm-hmm. Or you're just going to conform and do it a different way.
And I think these lessons are all lessons we need to learn. We need to be able to use, apply, and see when they're being used against us or to us, because we just you just have to understand what you're dealing with out here in this world.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't do everything everywhere.
No.
It's going to be sometimes you're just going to have to follow the rules. It's going to be times you're just going to have to follow the protocols. And the unwillingness to follow the rules and follow the protocols, or in some cases even learn the rules.
Yeah, yeah.
Like even if you don't intend to follow them, you should learn them so you know how to get around them.
And that's the thing. Know what you can do and what you can't do.
Yeah. You know.
So here at the end,
okay,
it was a few other things. Y'all got to go back and read this chapter. You know, the only time we're standing out is when you already stand out.
Mm.
So if you already that kind of person, if you already do that kind of stuff, just keep being you. That's
you.
Because
that way it don't look phony. You came out from the jump. You know what I'm saying? You've been bedazzled. You was bedazzled from the jump.
You was already doing that.
Yeah, you was already out there. You know, we already knew you wore them red shoes everywhere for no reason.
You know you had them shiny jeans.
Yeah.
You know those shiny jeans you had with the big legs?
Yeah.
Them Jabot jeans from the Stag shop. You know you had them jeans.
You know what I'm saying? Don't switch up the style now. And you're right. We all knew that person that was a little quirky. But we knew that was them. They been that way the whole time we ever knew them. They was quirky in kindergarten. It was quirky in 5th grade. It was quirky in 6th grade. It was quirky in high school.
Uh-huh.
That guy, he good. We know he good. We know that's who he is. But you over here was one way in 10th grade. Now you done showed up in 12th grade with a whole new thing. Man, you're phony.
You know what this remind me of? Man, when I did rental car, it was this dude named Ray, older white gentleman. You know, old. He had to be about 65 then. And people used to always come in and complain, man, that old white man racist. He always saying this or that. I used to love Ray. And you know why? Because Ray treated everybody bad. He wasn't racist. He was mean to everybody. So
no matter what color he was.
He didn't care. He treated old white people bad. He treated young white people bad. If you was black, it didn't matter. It did not matter.
Ray
Everybody was getting the business.
Ray was consistent across the board.
Hey. Oh man. Hey,
I
your boys
at my job.
Speed Zone say your brothers we on point.
Yeah.
Hey, you should come back Saturday.
Oh,
Saturdays when we really get it.
You know, Saturday at 11.
Full metal jacket.
Me and everybody. But listen, people, look, we're not trying to tell you how to act. No. We simply saying this law, you might want to understand this law and use it to your benefit. Because you can get caught out there like Polonius and ruin your whole life and end up starving to death because you can't leave your house. So we don't want that to happen to you.
But I hate everybody equally. I love them people, man. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. People who hate everybody, I like them.
There's a dude at my job right now. Trejo don't play, man. Trejo hate everybody. Trejo will matter of fact, if Trejo don't cuss you out, you might want to be worried. You might want to be worried. He really don't like you if he don't cuss you out. That's what he really don't like.
I'm telling you, boy.
Me and Trejo cuss each other out at least once a week. I just asked him Monday. I said, when I see him on Monday, I said, we good? We cuss each other out today? No, okay, we'll be tomorrow then, no problem. Hey. Come on, one more you in the week, we're gonna cuss each other out. I already know that.
But you know that's just them. That's just them. As long as they come and doing what they gotta do. Because you know what? Honestly, it's a few factors at play. One, they are conforming because they come. I bet you do what he got to do.
Yeah,
you come, you got to worry about. So he conforming to that.
He take care of business now. But in the game we playing, he one of the best players in the game.
Hey,
you know, and he know he one of the best players in the game.
So he act like Cade. Go back and read chapter 1.
Go back.
Read chapter 1. We'll come back and talk about it next week.
Yeah. But y'all read these chapters, man. Go over them. Apply them to your personal life. You can. Both of these chapters are very, very usable in your everyday life. Very, very usable. You're going to see them used by people, and you can use them yourself.
Next week, chapter 39, stir up waters to catch fish. Anger and emotion are strategically counterproductive, and you always got to stay calm and objective. And you can make enemies angry by staying calm yourself. I got a whole bunch of stories about that one.
That's a deep one right there.
Oh,
that's a deep one. Good old self-control.
It was so many chapters about self-control, man.
Because it's vital. It's so vital. It's so vital, especially for us as black men and the image we have out there of being hot-headed and all of that, and you know, getting upset and flustered with all kind of little stuff. Man, we gotta exude at all times self-control.
Yeah. And the next one after that, we'll do 39 and 40. Despise the free lunch. Yes, always be suspicious of this.
Yeah.
If something is free, it's dangerous. They want something in return. If they're giving you a raise at work, best believe they want something back.
They want some more work out you.
They give you if you're a manager and they give you a phone.
On call. I mean, you're on call.
You got it. You got it, man. Oh, see, that's the work phone right there. You iPhone. See, nothing is free.
I ain't even know iPhone.
You is now. You got to conform to that. So, but
got messages I got to read as soon as I get off of this.
That's it. All right, you say this sound like stray cats. Wow. All right.
So, man, go ahead and close this out, Doc.
Yeah, man. All right, y'all listen. We getting down to the end. We on chapter 40. I think I'm gonna put a poll out in the group this upcoming week. We got to decide what book we're gonna do next. We're thinking about Way of the Superior Man. We're thinking about the Will Smith book. We also thinking about Battle Cry by Jason.
Battle Cry and the Richest Man. Was the Richest Man in Babylon?
Yeah, Richest Man in Babylon. Oh,
right. I think those are the top 4 or 5
I got it right. Richest Man in Babylon.
Those are the top 4 or 5 books. We're gonna put up a poll.
OG want to do Art of War too. So I'm really thinking about that one too. So we're gonna put a poll up, or maybe we can figure out a way to do more than one. I don't know.
Okay, we'll put it up. So that's The Way of the Superior Man, Richest Man in Babylon, Battle Cry, Will, and The Art of War. That's the 5 we got.
5 books. I ain't gonna tell you no lie, man. That Way of the Superior Man is like
The Way of the Superior Man come through.
Ooh, that'll change your life.
Oh yeah,
that's some stuff. That's some life changing stuff right there.
Yes. I think that of the books, I think are the most of the books. It is the one I think is of the most immediate use to the individuals in our group.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because man, that Way to I think I told you about that book, man.
You did. To that you did, and I went through it, and I applied a few of the things immediately, and saw improvement in my personal life.
That thing, yeah, it shifted all of this around. Like it messed me up. You got to sit there. You got to eat that one like an elephant.
Yeah, but we're gonna put up the poll.
Yeah, and we'll see what it goes.
People decide. We're gonna leave it up there for a week or so. Y'all guys, tell us what y'all like, what you don't like. Put any comments down there, any other books you might want. Also, if you got a particular book you like for any particular reason, put that up. And if you want to go to Way of Superior Man, and you for this reason or Art of War for that reason, put that down in the comments and give us an angle in which to go at the book. And it's gonna be an open poll for everybody.
Oh yeah, and also, I think I'm gonna do it Wednesday. Wednesday at 7. I'm making the ad right now. I'm doing my first class. I'm gonna call it a workshop. We're gonna do the workshop about our finances and our credit. I'm going through this with y'all. We're gonna do it all together. The first one is gonna be about cash flow, how we can organize our money to create more money out of where we don't think money is. It's not budgeting. Don't think it's just making budgets. It's not that. This is cash flow. We need that. Once we get the cash flow done, then we're gonna start fixing our credit, because we're gonna do it ourselves. We're gonna do it together. We're gonna do this. We're gonna write our letters together. We're gonna send them off together. We're gonna get our credits together. Right. It's gonna be only on YouTube. Yeah, go to YouTube next week, Wednesday, making a flyer tonight.
There it is. All right. Hey, listen, America, we appreciate y'all joining us. We'll be back here next Thursday for 2 more chapters. We get deep into this book. We get the next book going. It's the Book of Man Thursday night book study. See y'all Saturday. We love you. We out.
Later.